Leadership is often portrayed as commanding, controlling, and always having the answers. But in Dare to Lead, Brené Brown tears that myth apart and gives us something far more real. She shows that leadership isn't about being perfect, it's about being courageous enough to show up as your whole self. Brown, a renowned researcher on vulnerability and courage, walks us through what it truly takes to build trust, foster innovation, and lead people in a way that inspires them to bring their best. By the end of this summary, you'll walk away with tools and lessons that don't just apply to work, but to life. So let's dive into 20 powerful lessons from Dare to Lead. Lesson 1. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's strength. We grow up being told that showing emotions is weakness, but Brené flips that script. Vulnerability is the act of showing up fully even when there are no guarantees. It takes courage to admit you don't know everything and to ask for help. Vulnerability builds trust because it makes you relatable and human. Leaders who embrace vulnerability don't lose respect, they earn loyalty. Lesson 2. Courage and comfort cannot coexist. Leadership isn't about sitting in a cozy chair while things run smoothly. Courage often requires walking into the fire when everyone else steps back. You can't be courageous if you're clinging to safety and ease. Choosing courage means embracing uncertainty, conflict, and criticism. If you're always comfortable, you're not growing as a leader. Lesson 3. Clarity is kindness. Too often, leaders dance around the truth because they don't want to hurt feelings. But vagueness only creates confusion and frustration. Being clear about expectations, feedback, and boundaries is an act of kindness. It may feel uncomfortable in the moment, but it prevents pain down the road. Clarity shows respect for the people you lead. Lesson 4. Rumble with vulnerability. Rumble is Brené's way of describing tough, honest conversations. It means staying in the discomfort long enough to understand instead of shutting down. Leaders who rumble don't avoid emotions, they lean into them with curiosity. These conversations are raw, imperfect, and messy, but they're where trust is built. A rumble is proof that courage and connection can coexist. Lesson 5. Trust is built in small moments. Trust isn't earned through grand speeches or dramatic gestures, it's built brick by brick. It happens in little things like honoring a promise, showing up on time, or keeping something confidential. When leaders consistently show up in these small ways, trust grows strong. Break those small moments, and trust can crumble. Leadership is, at its core, a daily practice of trustworthiness. Lesson 6. Armored leadership versus daring leadership. Armored leadership is all about ego, pretending to be invincible, controlling everything, and avoiding vulnerability. It might look strong, but it suffocates innovation. Daring leadership, on the other hand, is open, curious, and brave. It invites ideas, admits mistakes, and creates space for growth. The difference between the two is the difference between fear and courage. Lesson 7. Curiosity is a superpower. When conflict arises, most people rush to defend or judge. Daring leaders take a breath and lean into curiosity instead. Asking questions like, "Help me understand your perspective," creates dialogue instead of division. Curiosity opens the door to learning instead of shutting it down. It transforms defensiveness into discovery. The best leaders lead with questions, not just answers. Lesson 8. Shame kills teams. A culture of shame makes people hide mistakes, avoid risks, and shrink back. Leaders who use fear and humiliation may get short-term compliance, but they destroy long-term innovation. Shame suffocates creativity and connection. On the other hand, leaders who cultivate accountability without shame help teams grow stronger. Shame corrodes trust, but empathy builds it. Lesson 9. Leaders must model empathy. Empathy is more than saying, "I understand," it's showing people that you're willing to step into their shoes. Leaders who practice empathy create psychological safety where people feel seen and valued. Empathy requires active listening and dropping judgment. It doesn't mean fixing problems, it means sitting with someone in their struggle. When leaders model empathy, they give their teams permission to be human. Lesson 10. Daring leaders live their values. Values mean nothing if they're just words on a wall or in a handbook. True leaders operationalize values by letting them guide decisions, even when it's costly or unpopular. Living your values means showing consistency between what you say and what you do. People don't follow speeches, they follow actions. A leader's credibility rises or falls based on whether they embody their values. Lesson 11. Feedback is a gift. Feedback can feel like a sting, but it's essential for growth. Leaders who give feedback with honesty and care help people rise higher. The key is specificity. Vague feedback confuses, but clear feedback empowers. Leaders must also be willing to receive feedback without defensiveness. A culture that treats feedback as a gift instead of punishment becomes a culture of growth. Lesson 12. Perfectionism is a trap. Perfectionism isn't the pursuit of excellence, it's the fear of being judged. It looks like high standards, but it's really about hiding flaws. Leaders trapped in perfectionism burn out themselves and their teams. Brené reminds us that mistakes are not evidence of failure, they're stepping stones to improvement. Excellence comes from courage, not perfection. Lesson 13. Courage is contagious. When a leader takes a brave stand, it gives permission for others to do the same. One act of courage can ripple across an entire team. Whether it's admitting you don't know the answer, standing up for values, or taking a risk, courage spreads. Teams mirror their leaders, so brave leaders breed brave cultures. Your courage can be the spark that ignites others. Lesson 14. Embrace hard conversations. Avoiding hard conversations doesn't protect relationships, it erodes them. Leaders who tackle difficult discussions head-on show respect for others' growth. These conversations are often uncomfortable but necessary for clarity and progress. By leaning into them, leaders show they value honesty over ease. Hard conversations handled well build stronger trust. Lesson 15. Authenticity is magnetic. People can smell fake leadership from a mile away. Pretending to be perfect, posturing, or trying to fit a mold doesn't inspire anyone. Authentic leaders embrace their humanity, their flaws, quirks, and stories. Authenticity creates connection, and connection creates influence. People don't want perfect leaders, they want real ones. Lesson 16. Leaders must create psychological safety. Psychological safety means people feel free to speak up without fear of being punished or ridiculed. It's the foundation of innovation because people can take risks and share ideas. When leaders shut people down, they kill creativity. But when leaders encourage openness, teams thrive. A culture of safety unlocks hidden potential in people. Lesson 17. Connection requires courage. It's easier to stay behind titles, authority, or formality. But true leadership requires breaking down walls and connecting human to human. Connection requires vulnerability and the courage to be seen. Leaders who connect build loyalty and trust far beyond authority. Without connection, leadership is empty. Lesson 18. Resilience comes from rising strong. Failure is not a matter of if, but when. The best leaders are not those who avoid failure, but those who rise stronger each time. Resilience is built through self-reflection, emotional processing, and learning from mistakes. Leaders who rise strong model resilience for their teams. Falling isn't the end, it's the preparation for a stronger comeback. Lesson 19. Daring leaders build belonging. People don't just want to work, they want to belong. Belonging means feeling accepted and valued for who you are, not just what you produce. Leaders who create belonging inspire loyalty and engagement. It's about creating inclusive spaces where differences are respected. Belonging transforms a team into a family. Lesson 20. Courage transforms organizations. At the heart of Brené's book is one message: courage changes everything. Courageous leaders spark innovation, strengthen culture, and inspire movements. Organizations led by fear stay small, but those led by courage break barriers. Courage isn't just a leadership trait, it's the foundation of meaningful impact. Without courage, leadership is hollow. So those were 20 bold, transformative lessons from Brené Brown's Dare to Lead. Which one resonates most with you right now? Was it the reminder that vulnerability is strength, or that clarity is kindness? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how you see these lessons shaping your leadership. This is the Summary Shelf, the place where books turn into powerful lessons you can use in everyday life. If this summary sparked something in you, there's more where that came from. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned, because every video here could hold the exact lesson you need for your next big step.